Am I supposed to be on the edge? I'm gonna go. Do I come in here?
You can do whatever you want with your space, mate. Just don't infringe on mine.
I'm coming here.
Are you too tall for this? No, we're leaning forward. We're all right. Okay.
Is that all right?
Looks fine.
Yeah.
Looks intense.
Okay.
What up, guys? It's me, Jules, here with Scott, and today we're going to be talking about something a little bit special because recently something's emerged onto the scene very, very quickly, disappearing into the distance in a blaze of chili dogs, and that's no good because we're talking about the new Sonic game.
Sonic Mania, son.
That's what it's called. It's not actually made by Sonic Team, though, is it?
No, it's the first one by Christian Whitehead, who is a fan modder who's been making Sonic games for years, decades at this point, I think. And basically, Sega just kind of went like, you know what, we don't know what to do. And like post Sonic Boom, you had Sega come out and literally say, literally apologize to the fans, being like, well, sorry, we kind of tried a bunch of different things. None of these things have worked. So they kind of went to the fan community and they got Christian Whitehead on board and they said, yo, you know what you're doing, so we'll give you all the assets and you make a team. Just make the Sonic game that you know, for the fans, by the fans, that kind of thing. And it is glorious.
Because Scott's had some extended time with the game. I haven't played it yet. It's one of those ones which it's at the top of my list to play next, but I've got to get through Persona 5 first. Otherwise Ben will be very angry.
So we'll see you next year then,
exactly.
At some point.
So tell me about Sonic Mania. What's the story?
The basic story, there's a Mania mode, is the only mode you get at the very beginning. There is also a time trial and a multiplayer, like a competition thing.
Cool.
But the main thing of the main menu is the Mania mode, and that just basically takes the intro level of Sonic 3, and instead has Robotnik and all of his Robo minions steal the Chaos Emeralds, which throws the time out of whack.
Oh, so Knuckles doesn't take them, these robots do?
Yes. Cool. You can play as Knuckles.
I was about to say, because that's why he's friends with them in this.
So the setup is just, it's an excuse for them to basically, like, time's all thrown out of whack.
Cool.
And it's literally an excuse for Christian and his team to design some new levels and also just handpick the best ones from the old trilogy and up-res all of that stuff and add new lanes, new ways you can beat those old levels.
Right.
So it's literally like a best of.
See, I didn't know that. I thought that this was like a fresh game from the ground up. So what you're saying is they've taken good levels from the old games and they've basically just added bits onto the framework.
They've literally done everything right.
I did not know that.
Oh man, it's really good. So yeah, I mean, you can, from the main menu you can pick, you can play as Sonic, you can play as Sonic and Tails, you can play as Knuckles, and you can play as Tails by himself. Not that anyone would ever do that.
Why would you want to play as Sonic and Tails? Is so that he can lift you up?
No, you can just that's the thing from like Sonic 2. Just two of them going through the level together.
Yeah, I just never really saw the point of that.
Well, you know, people who watch the old 90s cartoon.
I'm not saying it's the wrong choice, I'm just saying...
It looks kind of cool, and like, maybe I'm wrong, maybe there is a way to like, maybe get them to interact with each other. I don't remember, it's been a while. I just jumped in straight as Sonic, because that's what I wanted to do, and then I jumped out and played as Knuckles. But yeah, so it's basically an excuse for them to just let you experience all these levels that you remember with like cool little tweaks.
Cool.
If you play as Knuckles and go on Green Hill Zone, there's way more stuff for him to climb. They've sort of tweaked that a little bit, which is great.
I always thought that he was underutilized quite a lot, so that's good that they're addressing that.
And I absolutely adore Knuckles, like he's great. It's cool. Not the weird barbarian version from Sonic Boom.
I always want him to do that thing where he's like, because obviously he's got the spikes there that he uses to like hold on. I want him to just be like, ow.
That'll be a little bit too self-aware.
He's too hard for that.
He's too cool.
He's too good.
So yeah, so you've got like...
It's nugget! Sorry, right, that's the alarm.
Mildly terrifying. Mildly terrifying.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, you drop into all the old school levels. You've got Green Hill Zone. I don't think they're randomized. I think it is a set sequence.
Okay.
Because you do start with Green Hill Zone and all those like old school vibes come back. There are things that are a little bit different, like Sonic has a whole bunch of extra animations, but in really nice, subtle kind of ways. Just different sort of transitional animations, ways when he's like flying through the air, he animates a bit better.
Cool.
He has a new like full speed run where he throws his hands back and he's just like flinging himself in. That stuff's great.
Like a ninja.
Kind of like Naruto, yeah. That stuff's great.
That's what this game needed.
More hell yeah, it is.
Ninja weeb vibes.
Also, the thing that they've added is a drop dash, which is the new move that Sonic has in this game, which is also going to be in Sonic Forces.
A drop dash,
which is when you're in midair and you're already curled up, you can hold jump, and then it does. You know, when you would rev up his spin on the floor. You can do that in midair now, so you land and just keep going.
That's nice.
Which is such like.
So basically, what they've done is it sounds like they've tried to make it so that you are perpetually moving.
Yes,
you're constantly moving forward.
That takes me onto the thing, which is why we've titled this video the way we have, because the thing that they do that I think only a fan community could latch onto and meticulously pick apart is the speed of Sonic. And I think that like over the years, like, obviously this is like, you know, one of the most well-known characters in gaming history. And one of the things that Sonic's always come up against is that levels like the Green Hill Zone were obviously built for speed, and people remember those early levels. But if you think of something like Marble Zone, or you think of the more platform-heavy levels, people then went, oh well, what's the hook? Why am I playing this? I can't do the speed stuff. Christian Whitehead and his team have made some of the best platforming levels I've ever seen. I almost swore there. Jesus, man. Like, they've managed to do this stuff where you're always on the move, you're always taking in why Sonic works and the flow of that stuff with just enough platforming and verticality where you're like flying up and down, you're going all around these different levels, discovering all sorts of secret things, you're jumping into these like big massive gold rings, you're getting Chaos Emeralds. Like, it just works, and it works in that way that Sonic fans have talked about for like 20 years. Mate, he's back, man.
I just take a breath.
No!
You are the Sonic. You are the Sonic of what culture because of the fact you speak at a million miles per hour, mate. But what you are saying, from what I gleaned from the tirade, the torrent of words,
I think they kept up.
Is that as Sonic is back.
Sonic is back. It's not that he ever went if you were always a Sonic fan, but he's been abused and misused for a long time. Let's not talk about Shadow the Hedgehog or the Werehog if we can help ourselves. The point is,
guns, bestiality, turning into a werewolf. Let's just list all of his terrible Team Chaotix. I'm sorry if you like Team Chaotix. They're just not. They're not good. Big the Cat. Just
Big the Cat. There's a lot of Sonic Riders. There's a lot of things.
Have you played Sonic Riders?
I have. I like the idea of what they were going for, but I don't.
Fire. Yeah. Jesus. Anyway.
It's all right, though.
So, Sonic Mania, as a first impression, it's not even a question with you, is it? It's just go out and get it.
It's overwhelmingly positive. They do everything right. Their heart is in the right place. Sometimes you come across games that have, like, a sense of heart and passion, and, like, the team felt like they needed to make this.
Yeah.
This feels like such a course correct. And, like, obviously it is a greatest hits compilation. It's going to be very interesting to see what Sonic Forces plays like.
Yeah.
Being that it's sort of taking a lot of the side-scrolling kind of influence. They're doing away with the vast majority of the behind-the-back 3D stuff to focus on old-school Sonic feel. But yeah, if you're anything of a Sonic fan, even if you're just like, like as a curio, if you're just like, oh, what's this character? Why does he matter?
Yeah.
This is why Sonic matters. This is why he always mattered, and this is what made him go up against Mario. This thing plays phenomenally well.
So what platforms is it on? It's on PC.
Like everything.
It's on PC, Switch.
Yeah, PC, Switch, PS4,
all the
Xbox
consoles.
One.
And it's like, I've got a reasonable price tag.
It is only £15, which is extremely
Does that mean that it's quite long or not?
I've heard that it's about 4 to 5 hours.
That's a lot of bang for your buck.
It's canny. I mean, you've got the Mania mode, which is like the hand-picked stuff with like a bit of a story, and that has all the new stuff in it. You've got the challenge mode, and you've got all the time trials, which I know you're a bit of a fiend for time trials.
I love my time trials, man. So, Relic Run, Crash, woo! Still haven't done it.
You're a madman. But yeah, so they've got all that stuff. You can play, you can do like the cooperative race stuff, things like that, or like head-to-head stuff. It's just
it's a lot of content there.
It's a nice package, and for the amount of money that it is, it just, like I said, it feels like it's the thing that we've wanted. It's the thing that fans have asked for years. Because
I mean, you can't really say much more than that, then, can you?
No, I've been
and I've listened to the soundtrack because the soundtrack is phonic.
Yeah, the soundtrack is absolutely great.
Like,
I mean,
I thought that like Sonic 1 and I think it was Sonic 2 is my all-time favorite OST.
A lot of people go with 3, but
yeah. I didn't actually have as much hands-on with 3 than I would have liked, but honestly, this blows it out of the water. It is so fun to listen to.
Yeah, and that's another thing as well. Because they're blending together all these different games, they take from the whole trilogy and blend it into one. So you have like the power-ups from Sonic 3. You have like things like
oh, cool.
Yeah, and so like putting them in Green Hill Zone. So
so it's kind of like it literally is a remix.
Yeah,
they're literally just chucking in all these extra bits into stuff.
It's manic, you might say. But like that's the thing that makes you go like, okay, this was made by a team of people who know what Sonic's supposed to feel like overall, and can take just the right amounts of this. Because Sonic 3, obviously, they amped up the difficulty a little bit, especially in that first level. It's not as like horizontally focused as something like Green Hill Zone. You're not flying through it. Okay. You're sort of like considering like grabbing onto the monkey bars or like the the zip line and stuff like that. They pepper those elements throughout the other levels, like the old school levels.
Cool.
To like just give it way more like variety and verticality and things like that. It just flies. It's when people describe Sonic, they nigh on always describe the Green Hill Zone, and you always used to go, but actually the rest of it, I always loved it. A lot of fans always love it, but it's not as recommendable as the first level.
Well, it's the same thing with Sonic Adventure. It's like the first couple of levels are fantastic, and then it goes a little bit off the rails.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of been the comment on Sonic as a franchise. Yeah. Overall, it was fantastic at the start, and then it went a bit sideways. But yeah, this feels like a love letter to the fans by the fans, and man, does it land!
Excellent.
Like holy.
Well, thanks, Scott, for giving us your first impression. I think that maybe he liked it quite
It's all right, yeah, it's pretty good.
We are going to do like a full review later on, and we might do a few more discussions on the piece as well. So let us know what you think about Sonic Mania, whether you've pre-ordered it or you're getting it. Let us know what you think about it coming out later on PC, because that seems to be causing a bit of contention as well. We will discuss that at another point.
True.
As always, I've been Jules.
I've been Scott.
And we gotta go fast!